Hey, what's up? This is Evan, developer for the PageLines store. Here again with another video for one of my new products called Less Developer. This is a product I'm particularly excited about as it's kind of something that I always wanted for myself, and I just kind of made it happen. It kind of came from an idea that I got from the PageLess plugin, which is one of my earlier plugins. For those of you who are not familiar, that plugin allows you to add individual styling for any page or post, and it also has this thing that I thought was pretty cool. Was it shows you the output of the compiled less, or whatever code you're putting in there. It shows you the compiled output to show you what CSS is coming out from that code. And I started using that feature to kind of do some testing and stuff with my own code, and it just became kind of a pain. I was constantly, saving the code and refreshing the page and looking in this small little box, and I was just like, man, this would be so much greater if it was just two huge windows and not requiring all this page reloading and stuff. And that's kind of how Less Developer was conceived, the idea. And so then I started working it out, and it's been in development for, I don't know I don't know how long it took, maybe a month or so, but I've been using it myself for several months now, just kind of in my own day-to-day work, and just kind of like working out any kinks before I released it to everyone. So it's been a real helpful tool for me as a developer, and I hope that it will be as useful for everyone else as well. And it's not really just for developers. It's also, I think it would be a great tool for anyone who's interested in just learning more about the Less dynamic style sheet language, because it provides you with this safe environment to just kind of like mess around and just try putting in different code, and you just get to see kind of what comes out and how it works. And it's pretty handy. It's all compiling over Ajax, so there's no page refreshing, which makes it really fast. So I'm going to jump into it really quick. I don't want to make this too long a video. I just want to give kind of a good overview of what it does. So if you were to get it, it'd be through the store. And so now we're going to go ahead and just activate it, because I've already purchased it. And so, alright, now it's activated, and you'll see the page for it shows up down here, kind of like a regular WordPress plugin, but this one's only for PageLines. So this is what it looks like out of the box, and you'll see there's some buttons around. There's these two big text areas that are enhanced with these cool syntax highlighting enhanced editors, which I love. And so these also have some buttons up here at the top. This is a drop down for your less files, and these are the names of the directories that it's scanning. There are a few directories that it scans by default. I'll just go over those really quickly. I'm just going to point out this help tab up here, because there is contextual help, and it kind of goes over all of this stuff that I'm about to say anyways. So it scans, your child theme is scanned by default, and that includes the less overrides. It includes any child theme sections you have. The PageLines Customize plugin is also scanned for files, and this Less Developer Sandbox, that's just a directory that I kind of came up with. It's in WP Content. You have to create it yourself. It's not automatically created for you. I didn't want to go imposing directories on your installation. So if you want to, you can create it yourself and just put some test files in there or whatever you want to do, just to test it out. Otherwise, pop this back up. This is a refresh. It refreshes these file lists without actually requiring a page refresh, so that's pretty handy. Load, clears out the individual editor. Edit allows, if there's a file, it allows it to be edited, and then you can save it. And yeah, I'll show all this stuff in just a minute. The compile button will compile code from the less over to the CSS and show it right away, or you can also hit just Control Enter to do that. I find that to be a lot more handy than having to go down here and click, but I thought I'd include a button for it anyways, for those who like to click things. There's a few buttons up here. This will give you, the column mode is the default view it would see. These arrows makes it full width, so it jumps to a wide kind of full screen type view. Go back to columns. Usually, unless you're working with like a ton of code, this is fine. Usually things aren't getting super long. And then this just opens up a new tab or window for the documentation about less for quick access to the code reference. This resets both editors. It clears out any text here, clears out your whatever you have selected. By default, whenever you do like a compile, it kind of backs up whatever information you have in your basically everywhere in your drop downs and your compiled code, your source less and your compiled CSS. It kind of saves that, so that if you were to like refresh the page, everything would still be there. It wouldn't be lost. So that's pretty cool, I think. So you can be working on something, you can navigate away and then kind of come back to it, and it'll be right as you left it without having to actually save a file. This is saved differently. So yeah. So that wipes that out. This doesn't actually affect files at all. Like it says, it will prompt you before you clear, just to be sure. If you don't hit OK, it won't refresh like you would expect. So now I'm actually going to show some of the workings of the less developer. Before I do, I'm just going to go ahead and switch on Code Glow because I like it a lot more than the default styles, and turning this on doesn't actually change any of the functionality of less developer. It just looks a lot better in my opinion. That's why I created it. So for those of you who don't have Code Glow, I think you should check it out. It's pretty sweet. You can save your own user preferences on how you want your syntax highlighting theme, and there's other options for the editor itself and whatnot. So this is what I prefer. Haven't set it up on this one yet. Also, Code Glow adds editors for the individual, the visual editor where there's the text or HTML editor. You can launch a big enhanced syntax highlighting editor like these for just your regular posts and pages and stuff. That's pretty cool. So alright, this is what I prefer. So I'm going to just go ahead and load up a file here. I'm just going to load up this one called library.less. I'm going to load it up. Takes just a second to load. And we see our input, and then if I just Control Enter, it will compile it, show it over here. Now from here we can mess with this, we can change whatever we want, use variables, we can use functions. I'm just doing whatever, like a border bottom, pixel solid, and we can say darken PL base by 30% and compile that. Alright, see, it just takes a second. It tells you that it was compiled successfully. I can even just refresh the page here, and you'll see everything is right as we left it. One thing I'll do, just as a demonstration, is I'll just throw a bracket in here just to cause a compile error, so we can see that, aha, an error came out. And the line number, of course, is not accurate to this line number. That's because there's this is on line 11, so something like 10. There's something like 970 lines of less that are loaded before this is ever processed. That makes our variables and mixins and all of that stuff available at the time that this is compiled. So there's a lot of other code that goes into this, but that tiny little bit is all that comes out. So I'm going to take this out again, compile it again, and see that it's coming up just fine now. So now if I wanted to, I could copy this to the clipboard with this little button down here for pasting in a form or putting it in some other media or something like that. That's just kind of for convenience. This only copies the CSS here. If I wanted to now save my changes, I've made changes to this file, I can just click Edit and Save. Now it's been saved. And then the unlock allows you to choose another file. Right now, since I hit Edit, it's locked. I can't change to another file right now. But if I unlock, I can go to another file, and then I could load another file up and save whatever you want to do. Or just load, and if you were to, let's say I made some changes here, nothing real, just I made some changes. Now if I just load the file up again, it will replace that with the previous saved value, as you would expect. So if I want to save this, first of all, I'm just going to see, I have a few other CSS files. I can only save it into CSS files because it's CSS. So I can load up just this other one and see what's here. Oops, I hit Edit, cancel, load. So this is pretty similar here. Must have been from a previous experiment. So I can just go ahead and compile it again and just replace the content that's here in this editor, and then edit and save it, and that file has now been updated successfully. And I can unlock it, I can clear it, I can load some other CSS file. This is more intended for compiling less into CSS and then saving the CSS into a CSS file. But if you wanted to, you could just edit CSS file without doing anything with the less. Like I could load up the style.css from my child theme. I could load it up, and whatever, I can just put in some just some silly stuff there, and then save that. And that is now in my style.css file. So that's that. That's the basics of what it does. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I have missed so far. It's pretty powerful, I think, and really handy in my experience. It takes into consideration any custom variables that you have defined, like in your child theme or some plugin. All of those are read in before everything is compiled. So it's cool because you can create some styling using all of the custom variables and stuff that you have for, let's say like an interface in the WP admin for a product that you're developing. I'm actually adding, or just completed adding some additional functionality for that ability specifically, where you can register your own products directory to be scanned and included in these drop-downs. So that's coming out. There's a post about it in the products overview page on the store. There's a link to that article that kind of goes into more depth about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else really to show at the moment. But yeah, it's very quick. You can get to all of your key files that you want to edit for your child theme, for all of your child theme sections, stuff that's intended to be customizable and edited. Core lesson stuff is not intended to be manipulated because it would just be wiped out after the next update. So that's why we have child themes and stuff. So that's it. If you guys have any feature requests or anything like that, constructive criticism, comments, all that stuff, please, I love getting emails about this stuff, or hit me up on Twitter, or just leave a comment on the products page on the store, and I'm usually responding as quickly as I can. So that's it for the Less Developer, and I'll see you guys next time.